Alright everybody, welcome back. This is our next tutorial. You should be done with your toolbox and have it all done. So you should have that open. By the way, have that ready to go. We're going to be starting there. So have your toolbox open. It should look like this. Make sure everything's set. Make sure you've got your materials editor option, your window open up over here. Make sure you're in the smooth shaded view for now on all viewpoints. That'll just make viewports. That'll just make it easy for now. Also make sure you have grid snapping turned on here, and make sure your grid is set to 0.25. This is all stuff we covered in the setup. So for that said, we should be ready to go. This is the first part in probably a pretty long series. We're going to start doing some prefabricated decor at this point. The first thing that we're going to do is really easy. Well, not really easy, but it's going to be probably what you'll use the most. It's going to be a column with one full twist. So it's a packed column using 11-inch quads with one full twist. And what you can do is you can stack those and make longer decor, obviously. Alright, so let's get started. First thing we need to do is create the project. So we're going to go to File, and go to File, go to New. And what that does is open a new file. It's currently unnamed here. So go to File, and then Save As. And we're going to call this Arch and Column Builder, just like that. Excuse me. Go ahead and click Save. And now when you go to Window, you see it's actually got a name to it. So we've got the Toolbox project open, and we've got the Arch and Column project open. So what we're going to start with in the Arch and Column project is an 11-inch model. So we have one of those in our toolbox. Toolbox. Sorry, I'm losing my voice tonight. Go to Toolbox, and then we're going to go to Object and go just to your basic models. Should be in there somewhere still. If they're not, you can just grab another one with a color on it. Doesn't matter. We're going to grab the 11-inch here, so just select that with the selection tool. Control C to copy that. And then go to Arch and Column Builder project and Control V to paste it. So what we've done is taken it right out of here and put it in here. Pretty simple. Alright, with that still selected, we're going to go to Edit, and going to go to Locate and Center About Origin, and then Edit and Rotate, because we're going to build this like a column, because later on we'll be using what's called a modifier, and everything the modifier does, it does vertically. So we're going to build this like a vertical column. So what we need is this balloon to be on its side, so we're going to rotate on the X-axis 90 degrees, which is a quick little button right there. You can see it snaps right on its side. Now let's go into the top view and make that a 1 view. And then let's go to the object viewpoint, and then do the frame view, and then let's use the zoom option here and click and drag left and zoom out just a little bit, probably about right there. Alright, so we are on our way. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need 4 balloons obviously to make a quad. So the first thing we're going to do is make a duplet like we always do. So we're going to isolate the y-axis. We're going to use the Move tool, and with your balloon selected, if it's not, use the selection tool to select it. Grab the Move tool, and then go ahead and click and drag, and this will snap to 1/4-inch increments. And let's just drag it out to about right there for now. Don't worry about it going off the screen. You can still. This is what we're going to be concerned with, is where everything lines up on this center point. So let's go here, and then we're going to go to Build. Now we can copy and paste this and just rotate it and flip it around. But a quick way is we can go to Mirror, which is in the Build options, so go to Build. There's a Mirrors option, skip that one, go down here to Mirror Image, click on that, and we're going to mirror about the Z, so tick the Z button, and the Z is going to be this direction. So if we mirror about the Z, we've just duplicated the balloon right on this side over here. Now, with both of these still selected, we're going to go to Build and Group. And now you'll see there's a box drawn around both of those. So if I select one of these, they select as a single object. They're still individual objects, but they're grouped, and they will act as a whole group as opposed to individual objects, which will make sense here in a second. So with this still selected, we're going to go to Control C to copy, and then Control V to paste, just like our toolbox we were doing, and then go straight to Edit, and go to Rotate, and this time we're going to rotate about the Y, which is a straight up and down axis, and we're going to rotate on the Y 90 degrees. So click on that, and ta-da, you now have your quad. Nothing's tied together yet, obviously, but the 4 balloons are there, and they're nice and evenly spaced. So the next thing we need to do is we need to ungroup these again, because if you're trying to move any of this right now, it moves as a group. That's a problem. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to Control A to select all, which is another keyboard shortcut. It's in the edit option here. You can go to select all here or just Control A. And then we're going to go back to the build option, and what's great about grouping is you can always ungroup. So with these selected, we're going to ungroup, and now you see we've got 4 individual objects that we can work with. Alright, now before we start moving these in closer, just for kind of a point of reference, we're going to go to the cube tool here, and let's come out here and just click and drag a cube. Double click on that, and then let's set the size to 5 inches by 5 inches by 5 inches. And then we're going to go to the divisions this time, and let's put 6 X divisions and 6 Z divisions. Click OK, and then let's click on the cube and edit and locate. You guessed it, center about origin. But we're going to do something real quick here. We're going to go to the all view again and go to the front view, and we're going to select, make sure the cube is selected, and we're going to use the move tool, isolate the y-axis, make sure your cube is selected, and just drag that up in the air like this. And what that does is going to put it in front of everything we're working on here because we need to see it. Alright, so back to the top one view, and now you can unselect everything, and let's go here to the wireframe, and now you see your cube you made has this really cool grid on it. And we're going to kind of use that as reference to help us line up our balloon spacing here. Now everything's still snapping to 1/4 inch increments, so as we move things around, everything will still snap to those increments. So I'm going to use the y-axis first, keep that isolated, and I have the move tool, the selection tool, sorry. I'm going to select this top balloon, grab the move tool, I'm going to drag that down and probably go right to that corner right there. And then I'm going to grab the selection tool again, grab this one because Y is still selected, and drag that one to the exact same spot on the other side using that corner. Now we're going to isolate the X, selection tool, and we're going to click and drag that one to that spot, and then select and then drag this one into the same spot. Okay, now we're going to go to the viewpoint tool and have the zoom option, and let's drag and zoom in just like this. So we can see all of our lines and our grids here, and you can see what's happening is our balloons have actually overlapped. And that actually is a problem because when you're working with any of the transparent materials like the jewel tones, you will actually see where the two surfaces are colliding. It looks really ugly. It's not good. So we want to minimize that. So we don't want these actually touching. They can barely touch, but you really don't want them touching at all. So I'm going to get them as close as I can. So I'm going to reselect this one, and I'm going to go to the x-axis, and I'm going to pop this out just 1/4 inch. I'm going to select the one over here and go out 1/4 inch. And what you're going to have to do, and then select the y-axis, selection tool, we're going to move this up one, is you're going to have to basically kind of play with this and get an idea of where things are lining up. And now you can see I've got this little gap here right between. I can hide my cube. Click on the cube and click H to hide it, and you can see your little gap here. So go back to the wire view, Shift H to unhide. So I like that spacing. What you're going to have to do, like I said, is kind of just move things around. The big deal, obviously, is you want to make sure that your spacing is even all the way around. As you can see using this grid here, everything is lined up nice and perfect, and that everything is basically 1/4 inch off of this. Well, I don't know if it's 1/4 inch, but the gap is the same all the way around. I've got this nice symmetrical shape, dead center of what I'm working on. That's what you're looking for. That's what's critical. Get to that point. All right. So then we're going to go ahead and select the cube that we never really used for anything, and go ahead and hit your delete key to delete the cube. Go back to your viewpoint, and then let's snap the frame like that, and then go back to the 3D view, smooth shaded view, and then select all for your viewports, and you have a nice looking, cool looking little quad over here now. Let me zoom that in so you guys can see it. So there we go. We got the start of an arch or a column. Alright, so I'm going to stop here, and this will be the end of part 1. I will be recording part 2 right away, so look for that.